you?
Fine.
So nice to see you.
Thanks. You too.
You have been away so much. It's nice to see you back in the suburbs.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. It's good to be home.
It's always good to be in your own space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that. I was at your house last night for dinner.
Yes, I know. We've seen you a couple times since you've been back, which is nice.
Yeah. No, it's been nice.
Surprise visit last night for dinner.
Well, yeah, I didn't have anything to cook. I mean, I did. I just didn't feel like cooking last night.
No, I know. And then when you reach out and you're like, "What are you having for dinner?" I'm like, "I know she's coming over."
Well, and also like, why am I gonna have beef in a bowl when you're having this incredible turkey meatloaf, mashed potatoes, broccoli?
Right.
You made Heath bar chocolate chip cookies
Because you were coming.
because I was coming,
That's right.
but the meatloaf wasn't because I was coming.
No, that was
You
on
just
the
whip
menu.
that up every night.
No, but I planned it out. I wanted it since Sunday, so I'm like, that's what I'm making tomorrow.
What's the menu tonight?
I went to Costco today, so out of the meats that I bought, Daddy picked pork tenderloin, so he's gonna grill it.
He loves pork tenderloin.
He loves pork. He does.
How do you even make that?
Grill it or cook
He's
it in the
gonna
oven.
grill it tonight?
He's gonna grill it.
Is it warm out?
No, I mean it's 40, 45, but he's gonna grill
Darn.
it.
I was hoping it'd be warmer because I'm going for a walk after this.
Oh, it'll be fine. It's not. I didn't wear a coat. It's
Oh.
not. It's not that bad.
But yeah, I was over last night for dinner. I was over the other night you had made chicken parm.
Oh yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, that was
And
really
then we
good.
saw you twice on Saturday. We took a nice long walk with Frankie.
Well, long.
Okay, Frankie's little legs.
Frankie's version of long.
Correct. Yeah, for Frankie it was a long walk.
Frankie's so cute.
And then it was nice enough. We stopped and had lunch outside at one of the restaurants. That was nice.
Yep, that was crazy. We had a family party at night.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, we've seen you a lot this week. It's been nice.
And then I did like nothing Sunday.
Same.
And like this week has just been crazy work-wise and
all the usual. Yeah, February messes me up every year. I don't know why I can't figure it out, but it's like being in charge of all the bills for the house and for the business and your businesses and stuff like that. Just having 28 days, it messes me up every single year.
I know, it really does fly by. Why does it feel so much shorter?
I don't know, but every year February takes me by surprise. I'll never figure it out.
No, and then March is just the worst month.
March is eternal limbo. It's like purgatory.
Yeah.
Especially here on the East Coast. It's just, it's gray and gloomy.
Yeah.
And has no purpose.
Yeah. I just hate March. I'm just like, I've just been so in the winter blues and so down and just so like, ugh.
Well, you're going to Florida again.
Yeah, thank God.
You get some sun at the end of the month.
No, thank God. I literally need it.
Yeah.
I'm going for like 2 weeks and I'm so excited.
That's going to be a very nice
thank God.
reprieve.
I know we made all of the reservations last night. We're
Good.
eating out 8 nights. So like it's just going to be a
food fest.
Yeah, a big food fest.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all the restaurants that we're going to go to.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
You should be a lot jealous. But I am just like so excited. I booked out all my Pilates classes. We booked out all the reservations. And literally I'm just going to wake up, work out, beach, dinner, repeat for 2 weeks straight. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I can't wait.
It's your preview for the summer.
Yeah. Everyone this past weekend that I saw, everyone that I knew was in Miami. Like literally everyone went away this weekend to Miami, and I just kept seeing it, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, same.
So
like
bad.
Everybody we talked to also, everyone was, oh yeah, we just got back from wherever. They were in the Bahamas, or they were in Florida, or they were in Cabo, or they were wherever. And I'm like,
because it's miserable this time.
I know.
This is when we used to go to Jamaica, was this week. And we need that again.
We do need that again. Yeah, it was the first week, wasn't it?
Yeah, because COVID was the last time we did it. Because we flew home and the world shut down.
That's right. That's right. That was
a few days before. Don't come after me. It was a few days before.
We flew home on the 9th, and everything shut down on the 13th. Oy. Yeah, that was bizarre.
And I remember flying home, there was one person wearing a mask.
There were a couple, and I remember some girls in the airport wiping down their chairs and stuff, and I'm like, what are they doing? But also, Do you remember how sick I was? I was so hungover flying home.
Oh, it was that trip?
That was that trip. And I'm in the airport, like laying down across the airport chairs with my face right on the seat. I could care less because I was like dying.
Hold the mic closer.
I was dying.
No, I remember how hungover you were, and that was funny.
Yes.
Jamaica gets you and Dad.
Yeah, we've each had a miserable hangover at one of those each trip. Yeah. But do you want to go back to the same place?
No.
Should we go somewhere new?
Yeah, no. I want to go to like a Saint. I keep seeing everyone go to Turks and Caicos, and
Yeah.
I want to go. But I am going soon, and I'm really excited. Did
Are
I tell you that?
No. When are you going there?
In January.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I definitely want to come back my next life as you.
Tori.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
God.
excited.
You live it up.
It will be great. I'm very excited to go to Turks in January, but I want to go like
Perfect time to go.
now.
Well, you're going to Miami in 2 weeks.
I know, and I can't wait. But then after Miami, my next trip is Italy.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, after Miami, you have a birthday and then 2 months at the beach.
Yeah, I'm turning 27.
Mhm.
How do you feel that your youngest is 27?
Old.
Really?
Older and older every year.
Super old?
Yes, because I remember turning 27. Like, it feels like it was just yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
What was your life like at 27?
I was married.
Wow.
I had just gotten married.
Okay.
I was, on my 27th birthday, I think that's probably about when I got pregnant with Maddie.
On your 27th birthday?
Well, no, but around there. She was born in August. So sometime around there. Yeah, no, it was just Daddy and me. We had Sadie. We were living in that little tiny house. And
the one in Berwyn?
yeah, it was cute.
That is
But anyway,
cute.
yeah, and I was working. I was driving 30 miles each way to work on the turnpike every day. That sucked. Hated that commute. And Daddy was working right around the corner. He used to bitch about the stop sign that he had on his way to his office.
I have a question for you. I saw a TikTok that Bethany Frankel posted. You know who she is?
Yes.
Bethany Frankel. How do you know her?
From the Housewives, right?
Okay. That's,
And from all the skinny girls stuff. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you knew her.
Yeah. Well, and she popped up on my TikTok and she's fierce. I don't even follow her, but she's always on my For You
Yeah,
page.
she's everywhere.
Yeah.
So she posted a TikTok that was like, I can't remember what the text on the screen said, but essentially it was saying, she was saying how she has noticed a trend in all these like women that either like don't have custody of their kids anymore or have just like spiraled in life because they got married, had kids, had a family, whatever. Then their kids went off to school and then they just like became so lost of like what to do with their life. And that would turn into like, you can only work out so many hours a day. In the words of Bethany Frankel, you would go meet your friends for lunch and then you just start drinking earlier in the day. And then it just becomes like one's happy hour time. And you just like go on this like spiral of like, what do I do with my life after kids? And men don't have that issue for the most part because they continue to work.
Agreed.
And they have like a purpose and a passion.
Agreed.
And women tend to like stop their purposes to raise their family. And then once their family grows up and they don't need them anymore, then they like struggle later in life.
Agreed.
You find that to be
A
true?
1,000,000% true.
Can you talk about that a little? Because I found it interesting. And then it actually brought me on my own spiral of like, well, what is my purpose in life? And what should I be doing with my life?
Yeah, no, what you said that Bethany said is exactly, that's my life. You know, I quit my career to stay home and raise you and your sister with zero regrets. I wouldn't change a thing if I were doing it all over again. I was raised very traditionally. My mom stayed home with us until we were old enough to, be without her during the day, probably 8th, 9th grade. She decided she'd go back to work part-time. But she was never a full-time worker that I remember, even as we grew up. And then she was so active with volunteering and the garden club and the newcomers club and her church and all this sort of stuff. Like she always had something going on. I have found that in my generation, a lot of people were either stay-at-home moms or they were dual income households. And somehow I've drifted away from all my stay-at-home mom friends. Like, I don't know where they all went. They moved. A lot of them moved away. We've lost touch when the kids get older and you just lose touch. So I seem to have most of my friends now are career people. So yeah, they're my age, but they're still working. So I find myself very alone a lot of times. Like during the days, I'm like, where is everybody? What's everybody doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not doing anything. I got nothing.
You read?
Yes, I read. I have a hobby, but I don't have a purpose. Like you kids, were my purpose. And I love hanging out with you. I love it when you're close by and we can still do things. In the summer, it's great to be around you more as we're all together at the beach. I'll talk to Maddie 4 times a week. And it's always, hey, what about this? Or my dog's sick. What do you think I should do? Or, and I'm happy to help or whatever, but it isn't the same. Now it's just you're grown-ups and you have grown-up problems and you just want to talk, sometimes you just want to talk to your mom. I get it. So that's great. I want to always be there for you guys when you need something. So in that respect, yes, I'm still living my original purpose of being a mom to you and your sister, but you don't need me as much. Mm-hmm. So I don't have the same, I got nothing. Daddy still just goes to work every day. I'm grateful he loves his job, that it hasn't been an issue. He's been self-employed, made it through COVID just fine. You know what I mean? It's just been steady for him all along, and he still really enjoys what he does. So that's never been an issue. He's never been unemployed. He's never been, we haven't had to move for him because of work. Like his job is incredibly steady. So it's just, everything just chugs along. And I'm the wild card because I'm like, now what?
Yeah, what do you want to work?
Well, I don't know. I've looked for work, for part-time work, but it's been 26 years, no, 30 years since I've been in the workforce. Yeah. The workforce has moved on without me. You know what I mean? The idea of putting together a resume when my last job on my resume was 1995.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now during that's not to say I didn't do anything when you kids were home. I had my real estate license for a while. I did that. I let it lapse because I just wasn't using it. And I was like, I got to go to these ethics classes every 2 years. This is ridiculous. I'm paying into the Realtors Association and my brokerage fee, but I wasn't doing anything with it. So I was like, no, okay, not going to do that. And then when Daddy went out on his own, started his own business, I was working for him almost every day.
Right.
And then you started traveling. I was traveling with you all the time. Maddie had horse shows. I was with her all the time. Like, did a lot of stuff. But none of it is resume worthy. Interestingly enough, I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this commercial during the Super Bowl. I think it was Google put out a commercial. It was a dad, stay-at-home dad, putting together his resume.
Okay.
And about, the hardships. How is he going to explain the lapse in his work time, that he's home with the kids and everything. And I remember thinking, why'd they have to make that a dad? Right. I feel like that's a huge shun to all the women
right
over decades and decades who have done that.
Right.
Who've put themselves second to put their kids first.
I'm not saying some dads aren't stay at home, but the vast majority of stay at home is mom. So they you're right.
I felt they missed a real opportunity there to just or do it for both. Put two people through the process. Like, don't just make it a dad. I was like, why are they doing that? Anyway, that just irritated me. When
Yeah,
I
I
saw
bet.
it, I was like, are you
Especially
kidding?
because it resonates with you.
Yes, it hits home for me personally. But anyway, off topic a little. Yes, it's very hard to find your purpose. And
Does anyone have a purpose?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you asked your father about it, he'd be very solid in his answer. You'd be like,
he knows his life's purpose.
I don't think he thinks all that deeply about it. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not trying to. I don't care. That isn't my goal. I'm a very under the radar person anyway. But I want to be happy and fulfilled, which I always was up until you kids moved out and everything. And now I do look for something to fulfill me. I mean, that's different than having a purpose.
Yeah, you're right. So how do you find
fulfillment?
Yeah, how do you find fulfillment?
That I wish I knew.
Because I look at someone like Grandma, and she loves the library.
Right.
And she makes that like a big part of her life.
Yes. She inserts herself into every little thing.
Yeah, she does.
Around her.
Yeah, she putters. Like she's busy all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
And that must be nice.
I guess. I prefer to let my brain quiet from time to time. She does not let her brain quiet.
Does she spiral?
No, I think that's why she stays so busy, because since Grandpa died, I
Right.
think she would spiral if she had quiet time, if her head was quiet.
I feel like I spiral when I'm too busy and when I'm not busy enough.
Yes, you're probably right. And
So
maybe
but I don't know where the medium is where I'm like, this is I'm not spiraling. I just feel like I'm always spiraling.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. What's you said the TikTok you saw sent you in a spiral. What's your spiral
been? Because I'm like in this phase of life now where I feel like I'm in a relationship where I could see it like going to like marriage, kids, all that sort of stuff, which is great. It's like what you want when you're 26, almost 27. It's like where you want to be, whatever. So I feel like good in that regard. And it makes me like excited for like the future and whatever, things of that sort. But then I also think about what happens when that phase of life is done. Like, then what? I don't just want to be like in the boat that you're in.
Right.
I don't want that to sound rude.
No,
but I don't want it to be in the boat where it's like, well, now I feel like I don't have a purpose anymore.
Right.
Like I always want to have something. And I also feel like I've never let myself not have nothing to do. Like, even if I just have, like, I've always had multiple things going on. Like in high school, I was obviously a high school student and I had YouTube.
Right.
And I had like friends and a sweet and sassy job. Like I had multiple things going on.
Right.
And then in like my college years, I had YouTube and, teaching spin. And then that became Stride. And then Stride was, okay, let's expand Stride. So like, and then I had the podcast on top of it. And then I do planners. Like I can't.
You've been building businesses. You've been building all sorts of things.
But what I'm
for
saying
yourself.
is like, I can't just do one thing. So I feel like if I was just like a mom, I would go crazy. And I feel like I would have something that I would also want to do elsewise.
Yes, you probably would.
But I would, in the perfect world, and I think it's funny that I'm like saying this, but I feel like in a perfect world, having something that brings fulfillment, whether it brings money or not, would be a great place to be.
Agreed.
Because all of my fulfillments have had to make money.
Right.
Because that's how I've made an income.
Right.
So it would be great if one day one of my fulfillments didn't have to bring in money and it was just something I did because I enjoyed doing it. Like Grandma works at the library at her old folks retirement home.
Right.
Does she get paid?
No.
Right. And she's so fulfilled.
Yeah, and she goes once a week to one of the elementary schools and reads.
Right.
She's like the local resident grandma and goes and reads with first graders, and
which is so cute.
She's the volunteer, like she volunteers for everything all the time. I wish that were my scene. It's just not. And that's a self-esteem issue for me. Like I feel like I've been so out of the work, not even the workforce,
not even work,
but
like guys, like they love golf. Right.
And I've tried. Like I don't like it.
Right. But
I
like,
tried.
what's the female equivalent of golf?
I don't know.
Because golf, like, it's not going to lunch with your friends because golf takes all day.
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
Like, going to lunch with your friends doesn't take all day.
No, I know. And I mean, when I was running and I was able to, I mean, I would run for 3-4 hours
But
at
you
a
could
time.
only work out so many hours of
True.
the day.
And then we would go home and shower and then go out to lunch. And I'm like, okay, so that was, but
right,
all
that
with the
sounds
same
awesome.
friend. It was
But that
great.
sounds awesome.
It was great.
But that's what Bethany's saying. Like, you then go meet up with your friends and then, you know, you start having your Cosmo and then, like,
Right.
it just spirals into one thing into the next.
Right.
And I don't want to become, like, dependent on, like, alcohol or something.
Yeah. Okay. Put a pin in that. We should come back to that topic.
Okay, we totally can.
But yeah. And we can talk. It's been 5 years since COVID, like this week, next week, right?
Oh, my God. That's wild.
5 years. And I can look back. Yes. Okay. I was 52. Like you guys had already been out of the house for years and years. You were out on your own. You were still living in your condo.
Yeah.
Maddie was in Idaho. She's never come back from Idaho. She's
No,
always been
she's
there.
Never coming back.
And you know, so I was then still in the same place I am now, meaning you guys were where you are. My stay-at-home mom duties were still very limited because you weren't home, you know?
Right.
But something about that isolation of being required to pull back from people, that put my mindset way off. It completely derailed me. Got me completely out of sync with the gym, drinking more and more, like, because you're home. Daddy and I were like, oh, you want a drink? It's noon.
Right.
Let's have a drink. That turned into something bad for me. Like, I feel like I've yet to recover from that, from the isolation of it. I just never got back. I never got my brain out of that era. And that annoys me that I'm still stuck in it. And that's my own problem. It's my own fault. And there are a lot of friends that I have that I could do more with, I suppose. But like I said, most of them are still working.
Right.
And I'll reach out to them and be like, when can we get together? And I have to rely on their schedule, which just makes me feel like more of a loser because it's like my days are open. Like, I got time.
Yeah.
My evenings, like, I can move stuff around if I have to. It's hard when your friends work and you don't. But it depends on, like when you were saying, you're in a stage where you're thinking about your future and what do you want to do down the road.
Just like fulfillment wise.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I know. I don't know either.
Like, yeah, I have my career now.
Right.
And I'm like lucky that both of my careers, I don't have to necessarily give up.
That's true.
Like my Stride and online career. Like
Right.
that stuff doesn't have to be given up.
No. And I mean, 30 years ago, I couldn't even fathom having a career on the internet. Like,
Right.
it was absolutely unthinkable
Right.
to me. So who knows when your kids are 18, 20 years from now, whatever. I can't even imagine what the world's going to look like
No, me either.
and what things will be available for you.
But I guess it just was like, I don't know. How do you even find things that you like to do? I guess it's that simple. Like, how do I know what I like to do?
Yeah.
How do you know what you like
just
to
have
do?
to go try them.
But like, that's also the thing. Like, if you live where you've lived your whole life and you're around the same people you've been around your whole life, how are you ever supposed to try anything new?
But I'm not around the same people I've been around my whole life. I mean, we lived in the house that you grew up in for 23 years, and then we moved 4 miles away,
Yeah.
and we have an entire new friend group. Like, I don't see anybody from our old neighborhood anymore.
Right.
Even though we were there for 23 years. So each stage of your life, you're always going to move through different people. You're going to be introduced to new groups. And once you have kids and they're in school and then they get into this activity or that activity, you've got all those people around. You end up creating groups of friends around you that move through pockets of your life with you. And that was good for us. I enjoyed that, having different friends along. But you also notice when they fall off. You know what I mean? And that is, whether they were your best friends or not, it's still a loss. It's like, we spent so much time with this group of friends, and now we don't see them because the kids are gone, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So you have a phone book full of numbers that you're like, I haven't talked to these people for 10 years.
Do you also have like moments of, oh, that sounds like a good idea, it's something I want to do, and then on the other side of it's like, what's the point?
Yes. 100 times a day.
Because I think that too.
Yeah. And I don't think that this isn't a sign of, depression or anything like that. It's just a matter of trying to figure it out. And also, we are in the winter blues. Like,
oh my God, I don't know if you guys can tell.
Yeah.
We're so thick of it.
Yeah.
We're in the thick.
Definitely. So I think some of that has to do with seasonal for us. And, maybe we just need to get the hell out of Pennsylvania for a season.
1000%. I've been saying this forever. We need to snowbird.
Where?
Florida.
Okay. I'll think about it. I just don't love Florida.
That's fine. I do.
I know you do.
The thing that I think of when it comes to like, oh, what's the point? Is like my mom and I have this genius idea that I'm not going to say because it's genius. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We have this like incredible idea. And if we were to like give it legs, we would be billionaires. Like Jeff Bezos
we have to make it happen.
Okay, but here's what I'm thinking. Like Jeff Bezos has actually never met anyone as rich as we're going to be. But I don't want all of that responsibility of this giant corporation.
No, we're just going to own it. We're going to hire other people to run it. I'm 57. I don't want to run a corporation like that.
I know. I was thinking about actually yesterday when you almost opened a restaurant a few years ago.
Did I?
Yeah, your wine bar.
Oh God, yeah. Well, yeah, that's right.
And didn't a few people tell you like why?
Yes. And I thought that too. I was like, this is not the time in my life I want to do it. Like, I didn't want to work there.
Right.
I just wanted to
be.
It was a great idea, and I wanted to open it. And somebody else, whatever. I won't get into that.
So yeah, that's another thought that it's like, oh, I want to do this, but like, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah, I get it, but I still think we should do it.
I definitely think I just don't know how.
I don't either.
Like most of the time I kind of know how. This way I have no idea how.
Yeah, I have a couple of...
And I can't believe it's not been done yet. No, that's why it's like...
I know.
We got to go.
I know. It's perfect.
It's perfect. How do you find fulfillment? How did you find fulfillment as a stay-at-home mom? Like, what were you doing?
Oh, in hindsight, looking back, I was always fulfilled. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do. Yes, there were a lot of days that were boring as hell or frustrating as hell, but I knew in my heart I was doing what I wanted to do.
Which was what?
Was be home with you kids, be available for you guys.
So now what?
That's what I mean.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, it was easy to be fulfilled back then because I was doing exactly what I chose to do. And I remember arguments with you kids, like when you were 7, 8 and Maddie was 9 or 10, whatever, like over the summers. Like, I hated summers.
Oh my God, you hated the summer.
I hated the summer because I thrive on a schedule. And that's maybe also why I'm having a hard time now, because I have no schedule. And that's hard for me. And like you said, you can only go to the gym so much. You know, you can't spend 6 hours a day there.
Right.
I wouldn't want to anyway. But yeah, so summers were a challenge because you guys would come home from school all hyped up like, this is the best day ever. We're out for the whole summer. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with them?
Summers were awesome.
But thankfully we were also in a good neighborhood and in an area and at a time when I could say to you, you girls just need to give me 2 hours to myself, get out of the house. Like, go find something to do. Go
I
to
don't
the
remember that
neighbors.
at all.
Oh, I do.
So if any moms are listening and they think their kids are going to have guilt, I don't remember it at all.
No, yeah.
I just had the best summers ever.
Yeah, they were. You guys had fun. And you could take your bike and go to the neighbors. Even in other neighborhoods, you would ride over to Hannah's house and whatever. And we didn't have cell phones. I couldn't track your location and say, where is she? Like, this was before then. You were 7 riding your bike to other neighborhoods.
We grew up in like the safest place on the planet too, though.
Yeah, you were lucky. It was good. We picked a good we picked a place like that on purpose.
Right.
To raise you guys. But anyway. Yeah, but now I have no idea.
So like now, what would a perfect day look like for you?
Oh my God, that's a huge responsibility. I truly don't know. Like, I truly don't. I would like, it sounds like a very easy question. Get up at 8, go to the gym for a couple hours, come back, shower, eat some breakfast, read a little bit, maybe go to work for a few hours.
Okay, well, you just said you didn't work, so can you define what that is for the people so that I know what you mean, but they don't?
Yes. I mean, I work for Ross's business. I take care of all the bills for us personally, 3 houses to maintain, and
Stride.
And
you
your
do Stride's
businesses.
books.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
continue.
It's a fair amount of stuff that has to happen on any given day. Some days I do none. Some days I'm working for 4 or 5 hours. But that's about it. You know what I mean? Then make dinner. It's the after dinner time is honestly my worst time of the day.
Why?
I hate after dinner. Because then it's daddy's done work for the day. He wants to relax. So he sits down. He'll pour himself a beer or a bourbon. And literally right at 5 o'clock, he comes up from his office and he's like, it's time for a drink. Which is fine. It's what we've always done. But, then we'll eat. And then it's a matter of, what do you want to watch? Which for me is a question, that is as annoying as what do you want for dinner?
Well, what did we used to do back in the day when we were kids? We would watch American Idol and Survivor.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't remember.
We would hang outside. You guys would chase fireflies in the yard.
That was in the summertime. This is March.
Well, okay. We had dogs all the time. We would walk the dogs around the neighborhood. You guys had softball games at night. There was stuff going on at school often where you'd be like, oh, so-and-so's in a play. Can I go see the play at school? Or there's a bingo night at school or whatever. Do you know, like there was always an activity happening.
And you don't want to like join clubs now or anything? Like go to the club or?
Well, we still go to the club.
I'm just asking.
I know. You're right. I know. Daddy does. He plays his shuffleboard on Wednesday nights. It's men's night at the club. He goes and does that. He used to play bocce on Monday nights. He doesn't do that anymore. Because I think the beach got in the way of that. He didn't like being committed to it. Yeah, I've just never... I haven't gotten into pickleball. None of it.
Oh, I love pickleball. All right. Well, that ideal day sounds nice. Why can't you do that?
Well, that is what I do most days.
But you still feel unfulfilled.
Yes, I still want more. Like most of my life now revolves around the house. Taking care of the house, being at home, all that. I have nothing to leave for anymore. And I think that feels like a hangover from COVID that is just too much.
Well, you could wallpaper the house.
Oh my God, I really should.
You could put all your energy into your house.
I should do that because we've lived there for 5 years and we've not even painted a single room.
And there's been paint samples up on the walls for 5 years.
I took them down about a year ago. Oh. Did you notice?
No.
Yeah, they're gone.
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, they're gone. But
they're not in the kitchen anymore?
No, they haven't been there for about a year.
Wow. Well, you should do that.
Yes, I should do that. And Daddy's always done like the construction part of it. Like if I want,
he's too old for that now.
No, I know, but I'm thinking I've always deferred to him to do that. And I'll say, we should do this or we should do that.
No, just let him be the husband, and just he shows up one day and boop,
And it's done.
It's different.
Yeah.
And you know what? He'll probably just be like, "What's different?"
He probably won't notice. That's true. So yeah, I either need to hire someone to do it, like on the taller walls. I'm not climbing up there.
No.
Or I'll do it myself. Like I keep waiting for him to go. What?
You don't need to do the labor. Just be the designer. Just have fun.
But I want something to do. Like I don't mind doing the labor.
The contractors around.
Then I just have to stay at home, out of the way. Like that's even worse. I'm capable. I can do it myself.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying you don't have to do it.
I know, and I don't love it.
So why do it? Like that's why it's never been done, because you're like, I don't want to do it.
Trying to find something to do.
No, you are the designer. That's the fun stuff. You pick it out. You like source it all. You make little rooms on Canva.
Yeah, you'll have to show me how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
Easy. I can show you.
You can do room designs on Canva?
Yeah, you can do any. I made a whole planner on Canva. You can make anything on Canva.
That's true. You're right. Yeah.
So
I'll get on it. I'll get on it.
Get to it.
I will.
And then when I get a house, you can design my house.
Okay.
Won't that be fun?
It will.
I didn't mean to make this all about you.
That's okay. No, I guess it's good to know that, you don't get it all figured out.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok of a girl the other day. She was 25. She's laying in bed under her covers. And she's like, I'm a full-fledged adult. She's like, when am I going to figure it out?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and all the comments were, oh, sweetheart, I'm 38. I'm 45. I'm 52. Da, da, da. It was like, you just got to roll with it. Like there's no, and it's different for everyone. Figuring it out, my it is different than your it.
Yeah.
There's no formula.
And I keep seeing everyone saying like, it's their first time living. It's everyone's first time living.
Correct.
And like, yeah, you've never been.
I've never done this before.
Right.
I've never been 57 and dealing with adult children before. Never done it.
Right.
And you've never been 27?
No, I still have never been 27.
Actually, you're already in your 27th year.
Right. All right. So we're fucked.
Kinda. I mean, no. It's just, I wish I had something profound to say.
No, I know.
Like, oh, you'll enjoy the process if you do this or this or this. No, there's no 5-step process to figuring out your purpose in life.
I guess that does bring some piece of like, if something feels right and aligned to you in the moment, go for it. Because it's not like there's a bigger thing waiting for you and you're going to miss it if you run with what feels good to you in the moment. Because that will lead you to where you need to be and should be ultimately. Yeah.
If you let yourself get bogged down by, I want to keep myself available for this in case this happens, I don't think that's a good idea.
That's a good way of looking at
it. Because in case there is no, yes, the world might stumble right into you. Like your future might stumble right into you. But who's to say that future that you stumble into is better than this future if you actively go that way? You know what I mean? You can't know. There's no crystal ball. So you just kind of have to wade your way through with whatever works. I know it sounds terrible.
No, it's just
life is murky.
Real.
It's very murky. There's no clear anything ever. You just kind of go with it.
Yeah. And you guys also just have to remember we are in the thick of the winter blues. We're feeling a little hopeless.
Woe is me.
No, I called you like a week and a half ago, like crying, like, what happened to me? I literally said, what happened to me?
I know. And I was like, what did I ask you? I said, are you about to get your period?
Yeah.
And are you missing Florida?
Yeah.
I think were those two of my major things
to help you. As soon as I touch down and like the warm sun hits my face, all of my problems will go away.
Yes.
But also like, I don't have to live in PA where it's cold. This is a choice that we make every year.
You keep saying we. You're a full-on adult. If you want to move to Florida, go.
Move to Florida.
I'll come and visit.
Will you?
Of course.
I don't believe that. You hate Florida.
Oh, I'll come visit.
Well, is there anything positive you want to leave our listeners?
What a day.
Yeah, what'd you do today?
We just brought down the room for anybody listening. No. What did I do today?
Well, you said what a day.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, us being grumpy here.
Is there anything positive to add?
No.
No. Okay.
Not really. But it's March, and when we talk to them again, it'll be April.
Yes, it will be April. I will be 27, and
Yeah.
I will be
Back from Florida. Tanned.
Hopefully.
You'll get a tan.
Let's hope.
You'll get some sun anyway.
I can't wait. It's wake up, Pilates, beach, go home, get ready, dinner. That's fulfillment. That's what I want my life to be.
You know, okay. It's funny you say that because, like, at the beach in the summer, that's kind of what I could do.
I know. And remember in the summer, you were like, I have a great life. And now
I
we're
do.
like, I have a bad life.
No, I do admit it. I do have a great life. But I guess my struggle right now is I'm trying to do that without alcohol.
Mm.
And I respect the hell out of you that you can. I don't know how you do that. And I'm grateful that you never got in the habit of drinking so that you didn't have to break a years-long habit.
Has your Oura Ring made you...
No, hasn't done anything for me. No, it's my headaches. I get these horrible, horrible headaches when I drink alcohol. So that's frustrating.
For me, it's just like I have one drink and my heart rate skyrockets, my HRV plummets, and it takes days to get back to where it was from one drink.
Okay, well, I've only had this thing for a week, so I don't have enough data on that. And I would need a whole lot of data of not drinking.
Right.
And then have a night of drinking and see how long it takes me to get back. But the thought of that is making me miserable.
Another quote that I heard that I like was, if you're bored, build. And I always thought that was nice because it meant like if you're bored, like build your body or build a project or, you know, just build something.
Yeah, that's good advice. It's very good advice. That's our positive end note.
I guess we'll end it there then.
That's a good one.
I'm going to go eat a cookie that you made.
Oh, yeah, cookie time.
Yeah, Heath Bar chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, we'll have to get back to our cooking recipes too.
Yeah, maybe that can bring us fulfillment.
I do like cooking.
I do too.
I just don't have anyone to cook for anymore.
Oh, well, in the summer,
okay.
Hang on. Go ahead. Keep saying. Go ahead. Keep going.
What?
Keep going.
No, I was just going to say, like, I mean, as a mom, I enjoyed shopping and cooking and, you know, preparing meals and planning out meals for you guys and cooking and providing for my family. That was very fulfilling. And now it's just Daddy and me, and he doesn't want desserts hanging around. I love baking. I don't have anyone to bake for.
Awesome. You can bake for me in the summer.
Okay.
And also remember, every day in the summer I say, Mom, what's for breakfast?
Okay, you're right. Although there are some
and
times.
you normally make breakfast.
Especially in the beginning of the
some
summer.
days where you are like,
Are you kidding me? You're trying to say this on me.
I know.
on breakfast.
You're exactly right.
and then Dad normally takes my side, and Dad goes, it does taste so much better when someone else makes it for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. I guess the difference between now and when you were younger, you didn't get a say. I said, this is what's for breakfast. This is what's for lunch. This is what's for dinner. And you guys were like, okay. But now, like at the beach, you'll say, what do we have? I feel like this. I feel like that. You know?
Yeah. And you make it. And I'm so lucky. All right. Well,
we'll figure it out.
We'll see you guys next month when I'm happy and tan.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Tor.
Tell them you love them.
Love everybody.
Bye.
Bye.